Anyway, I did that, and then I got a residency down in Wales, working on some pieces in this farm, which was open to the public, where I looked at people like David Nash, a very good man to look at, and Goldsworthy, and all those influences affected me. So I was working with a lot of reclaimed materials for a very long time through that, and particularly interested in people like Richard Long, and their way of, and Chris Drury and their way of working, all using all sorts of natural materials, natural forms. So I worked with that for quite some time. I managed to get some teaching work in my old college, which is now LJMU, John Moores University, and I taught part-time there. Then some more vacancies came up at a local college on the Wirral, where I live, and I've been teaching there part-time ever since. So that's it in a nutshell. That's where I've been, and now I'm kind of, I'm feeling very, very happy about doing commissions and doing bits of work, and bits of my own work and bits of teaching and stuff like that. I like that. I feel quite comfortable. I would like to do more commissioning work, because I do tend to need a bit of a deadline. That's one of the things. I'm not one of these artists that can actually make art day in, day out in the traditional way and be very happy with that. I need to set myself deadlines. I need to have an exhibition to work to, or I need to actually have a particular idea which I can work to. But that is stimulated by a deadline generally, which is an exhibition or a commission. So I do like that side of things. I've got many friends, many colleagues, and they can go into their studio day in, day out, lock themselves away, and live in this kind of world of their own ideas. And that is perfectly fine. That's great if you like that. And I'm not condemning that, don't get me wrong. I think that's a marvellous thing to do. I'm quite envious of it. But I have to set myself timelines, set myself certain scales. So there we are, that's what we're doing. At the moment, I work in all sorts of mediums. I can work in steel work, and metal work. I work in clay, I work in wood, reclaimed wood. And you find that when you look at artists, when you look at established artists tend to be pigeonholed in one style. And you think, well, you see somebody like Henry Moore, you see somebody like Giacometti, Elizabeth Frink, you see somebody like Grayson Perry, he's totally extreme on other ways. And you think that's all that person has done. Well, they haven't. Artists have worked in all sorts of ways and tried all sorts of mediums. If you look at the styles of their drawings, if you look at their different works, so, some works which are kind of locked away, and you might get a glimpse of them at the back of a book or something like that. You can't believe it's the same person that you're used to seeing. But that's okay. You should be feel to experiment and feel free to change. I think so. And not be, trapped within a certain style, unless, of course, that's what you're genuinely happy with. Okay. If you're genuinely happy with that's the way, because that's natural progression, that is the way that you're going, and that's the way a lot of artists have ended up. But it's important, particularly where you are, to try things out, to experiment. And we've all got preconceived ideas, as I was trying to tell you earlier today, about what sculpture is, what art is, and what art should look like. And you've got to try and drop that. It's a hard one, because we are all influenced by certain images, certain styles, certain materials. And that's great, yeah, okay. But, don't lose a lot of ideas by being trapped in this notion of what you think art should look like. It's a hard one. It's a hard one, I know. But things happen. And I'm still fighting that at the moment. I'm still doing it. And that's value your own individuality. I mean, I consider that my work is fairly conservative, really, the way things go. But I'm very happy regarding the craft side of things now. And when you go to art school, you'll be pushed in all sorts of directions. And it's important that you do try things out. Most important. I've come back almost like to a full circle of being, my work is quite craft-based. But it's, it's how you present it and what you do with it. I mean, if you think about Anthony Gormley, and a lot of his work is on a beach near us at Crosby, and he's got all these figures staring out to sea, the most beautiful spectacle. This isn't just about the male figure, this is about dozens of these figures all going along this beach. And it's an installation of the human form. And it's a remarkable piece of work if you take it. Worth looking up on the website, Anthony Gormley.